Yo, 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 what's going on? Thank y'all for tuning in to another Daily Fitness live stream show. Yes, sir. Let's go. All right. Oh, man. Had to get another later than usual stream today. Got the kiddo out of school, so I got to kind of make some minor adjustments that we got to do. But once he gets back into school, we'll be doing our streams back in the daytime for sure. But today is Friday. Hopefully you're having a good Friday. Probably outside doing some debauchery or whatever you're doing. I got a little breezy with you, whatever it is that you choose to do, but make sure you have a good day and a good weekend. Don't do nothing stupid. Don't do nothing crazy. And if you're having a bad Friday, let Mr. Child break it down to you.
Oh, you're having a bad day? Did you die?
I got shot.
But did you die?
And hopefully you don't get unalive this weekend, because you still need to be here making the best moves happen and getting to the money and being focused and doing what you got to do. Because even though the government is shut down, you don't want to be shut down as well. Let's go. Yes, sir. With that being said, we got a good show lined up for you today. But if we're just to let you know, we are simultaneously streaming on YouTube, Twitch, Kick, and Rumble. Just to let you know. And if you're on YouTube, do me a favor. When you see that thumbs up come up, wait, I got to switch hands because for some reason it switched. I don't know why I did that. But if you see the thumbs up come, hit the like button on YouTube. Greatly appreciate it. If you're on YouTube, if you're on Twitch, Kick, or Rumble, give me a subscribe. It's greatly appreciated. If you want to contribute, there's a Cash App and a Venmo right there. Cash App is Daniel2888. Venmo Danny-Daniel-00. And yes, it'd be greatly appreciated. And we'll get to this show for sure, because we got a good one lined up for you today. So for today's show, we have our three topics. We have fitness, economy, and AI. So for those three topics today, we are going to go over and take a look at what do we have for you today, because I forget. Oh, yes, we do have one. We got Greg Doucette for the fitness portion of the show, who's going to go over another fitness influencer by the name of Jeff Nippert. And I don't really know what's going on with the beef between these people. I don't understand why fitness people beef. It's the weirdest thing ever. Yeah, whatever the hell they got going on, we're going to find out and see what's going on. So your guess is as good as mine. I'm kind of blind reacting to it with you, so we're going to see how that goes. Bruh. Then next, we're going to get to the economy portion of the show, which you can probably already guess what we're going into there. We're looking at day 9 of a government shutdown. Yes, day 9 of government shutdown, and we're going to take a look to see what havoc it is causing.
I said, goddamn.
And we're also going to dive in to take a look at what exactly are the future penalties going to be if this government shutdown keeps happening. And we're going to see exactly how the military is dealing with the government shutdown, as well as take a look at a video from the content creator who's going to go over how other people are also realizing that they're probably not going to get a paycheck. And the last time we had a government shutdown, if you don't know, was the last time Trump was in office. And that was the longest government shutdown we've ever had, period. So if he did the longest government shutdown ever, then we're going to have to take a look and see if he's going to try to make it longer than it was last time. As far as I'm concerned, according to whitehouse.gov, it's the Democrats' fault why there's a government shutdown, but the Republicans are in office. Whatever the case is, I went over this and I'm going to keep covering it just to keep up with it. It seems like he wants to get rid of the Medicaid and all of the government funding that the illegal immigrants are getting. And according to the Democrats, they're saying that if he gets rid of that or lets it go, the Affordable Care Act, then people who gets insurance through the government, their insurance is going to go up 114%. That's a lot. But we'll see how that goes. Then for the AI segment of the show, we're going to take a look and see exactly what happens when big tech pushes to get AI into the schools with the children. Yes. Yeah, we're going to look and see how that goes. Now, when I looked into it a little bit, you think it's going to be a good thing, you know, technology and education, but however, they're saying that the learning curve has gone down over the past 5 or 10 years since this has been going on. So we're going to have to take a look and see, are our kids being dumbed down? And I would probably have to agree and say probably yes. Kids are probably getting dumbed down by using more technology and using less books, because books are, you know, part of reading, you know, the fundamental of learning. And with these little gadgets that we have, you can already tell that that takes away from people being more knowledgeable in reading, because a lot of people won't use it for that purpose, and people don't like to read. So we're going to dive into that and see exactly what's going on and why it is being a detriment on our kids. So hopefully you can understand if you got kids in these public schools, you can have to do some education yourself and find a way to get your kids on the right track. Because there's even been times where you see like different streamers or influencers, like Kai Cenat, for example. He asked his friend what 8 times 3 was, and the kid couldn't even answer it. The kid was like, man, how's that gonna get me any hoes? And it's like, bruh. I'm like, okay. Simple question. Couldn't answer it. So we're gonna see if that's actually a benefit or a negative in the overall situation of AI being implemented into the classroom with the kids. And hopefully it's not, but I think it's gonna be, but we're gonna dive in deeper than that and see. So without further ado, we ain't gonna waste too much time because I got stuff I gotta do after I get off this stream. It's actually important stuff I gotta get to. So we're gonna dive right in and get to the fitness segment of the show. Let me get this banner up real quick right here. Boom, bow. And we are going to let our sexy chicks line us up. So here we go.
Let's get ready for the fitness segment of the show.
All right, we got 3 of them now. We got 3 of them. Yes, sir. We are winning, like winning. All right. So let's go ahead and get this video pulled up on the screen. Greg Doucette's going to make his way to the show today. He's going to see what's going on because he's got a bone to pick with the other fitness influencer by the name of Jeff Nippard, who does science-based fitness. So we're going to see how this science-based fitness works out. And he also has a problem with this other guy named something Israel, whatever his name is. So there's 2 guys that do bro science. However, he's focused on 1 guy today. So we're going to see how this pans out. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. As you can see, there he is right there. Let me switch that banner, get that banner right. Where is it? Where is the banner? Bam, there it is. Cool. Let's go ahead and let him dive right into it. Here we go.
The Israel files were first released, and next, the Nipstein files. And so, in today's video, which is literally going to be a Netflix documentary, I hope you all invested in Netflix. I hope you all invested in Netflix because if you did, it's going through the roof.
I'm gonna have content for years.
And so, in this video, things such as Jeff Nippard's cover-up, the lies, the circle jerk, of which I would recommend Cool Head blended flavor. Remember, this is great for your favorite throat goat, and so with all these boys circle jerking it along, I highly recommend it. We're gonna see how Solomon exposes Jeff Nippard for who he really is. He's gonna expose Jeff Nippard for being exactly what I always knew. And so wait till you see what he exposes. You are going to be shocked, many of you not going to believe it, and all of you in the science-based community, all in that little circle jerk. Essentially, it's like the movie Mean Girls. When you find out what these professionals, these experts, these so-called scientists are actually doing, you are going to be shocked. You will never think of them the same. And so the entirety of the fitness industry.
We got Jesse, Will, there's Jeff Nippard, the Nipsteins, what he calls them. Larry Wills, and I think that's supposed to be Lean Beef Patty. I think that's her with the, yeah, I think that's who that is.
Is talking about this. Going to see how Jeff Nippard's programs were essentially, I guess you could call it first drafts. I mean, with the mistakes involved, impossible workouts that are literally physically impossible to perform. How Solomon discovered this and outed him out, and Jeff trying to cover it all up. We're gonna see how Jeff treated Solomon upon Solomon making the video on Mike Israel, and how Solomon, along with a hero of Israel as well as Nippard, was outcasted because they became friends with Coach Greg. You will see with proof how Jeff has main character syndrome and thinks literally, and I'm not making this shit up, that HTLT supplements, the name Harder Than Last Time, was based on me making fun of Jeff Nippard for what he says was not deadlifting hard enough because he had a back injury. He literally thinks I named my company HDLT Supplements to make fun of him. Oh, and that Jeff thinks that HDLT's been scamming people out of millions of dollars for years. And so if you want to find out the truth of the circle jerk, the lube that's required, what actually went down, well, stay tuned for several videos and be sure to go watch Solomon and click the hype button. It's currently at number 20 on Hyped. And so please give Solomon a follow. I first was introduced to Solomon upon making a video on Dr. Mike, of which I reacted to, promoted his video. And since that time, he's amassed over 50,000 followers with only a few videos. Be sure to watch the Israel Files, over 1 million views, and be sure to check out what else is in store. He's only approximately 25 years of age, but his YouTube are simply a group of back scratchers, or I like to call them circle jerkers. Don't forget your lube. And that the entire fitness industry is essentially being run by a fitness mafia. And so just like it is in politics, get ready because the house of cards is falling down. And so the first thing
Okay. So the fitness industry's ran, and there is only a few people who are like dominating the fitness realm right now as far as the content goes. So I could believe them on that. I think what we're about to see here is over the next 5 or 10 years is it's going to be a small few dominating industries to the rest of the minis. So I think it's going to be a very, very, very tight, closed, how do you say it? A tight, closed environment. You know what I mean? Like a lot of gatekeeping going on. You know, so many people going to have this industry, so many people going to have that industry, so many people going to have that industry, and it's just going to be really tight-knit and closed. You're only going to see certain people pushing out content for certain industries and topics.
I recommend is you go out, press pause, get a bag of popcorn, and go into the comment section as you're in for a treat. A plane has hit the second science-based lifting YouTuber. 13,000 likes already with over 100 replies. And so the Twin Towers in this case essentially are Dr. Mike and Jeff Nippard, the central hub of what's going on, the leaders of the pack, if you will. And both of the towers are crumbling down. And of course, they're gonna try to cover it up. Both of them. And we have proof, the evidence is clear. Turns out the bench press program Solomon acquired from Jeff was just a rough draft. Solomon single-handedly helping Greg Doucette reach billionaire status. Babe, billionaire. Did you ever think I would be a billionaire? I mean, honestly, I did think it was possible. I felt like there was a chance, but I don't think it's worth it. I think like...
Millionaires have more problems. So.
Yeah. More money, more problems. I think $100 million is plenty. I don't need to add an extra zero. And so I do believe they're exaggerating.
I mean, if he don't want that extra zero, I'll take it. You know what I mean? I don't mean if he doesn't want it, I mean, that's fine. He could just like get it and then like donate it out and, you know, like, you know, get your philanthropy on. You know what I mean? I think that'd be the good way to go. What would you think? What you think? I think that's what he should do. You know, and anything else would, you know, be, I guess in his case, since he doesn't want it, it would just be, you know, it would be very unthoughtful of him. So yeah, go ahead and just donate that out, Greg. Just go ahead and donate it out, bro. Philanthropy. Go ahead and do it. Let's continue. Here we go.
Don't need to have 9 digits, perfectly happy with 8. So I suppose if this does in fact keep up, who knows, anything's possible. I mean, what are the odds I'll become a billionaire? It's less, it's more than 1 in a million. Feeding Greg Doucette's family for generations with this one. Honestly, I already had this happen with the last one. With this one, it's going to be feeding.
Who are we feeding?
At this point, I don't even know who we're feeding. I can't bulk that. I can't eat enough. Please come to bed, honey. It's 3 a.m. Not now, babe. A new chapter in the Israel saga just dropped. Every time Solomon releases a video, Greg moves up a tax bracket. I mean, honestly, I'm already...
All right, I'm ready to see the damn video. I don't know what's going on here because they really got me like wondering what's going on. Like, come on, let's go.
There. I would be moving up brackets, but hey, it's a good point. Babe, wake up. Solomon is wrecking another fitness YouTuber. Now, I don't see this comment anywhere, but couldn't we say, hey, turn the TV on? What channel? It doesn't matter. And so just like 9/11 back in the day or other major historical events, just turn on the TV. Everyone is going to be talking about it. And so the Nipstein files, the Israel files, couldn't get any bigger. Jeff was so annoying with his response to Solomon's PhD review. He didn't even look into it. He just immediately ran to cover for his buddy. Not very science-based.
All right, so it doesn't look like he's gonna dive into it. I'm gonna skip over a few things just to see if he's gonna dive into it.
Dentistry, and so of course he's an expert on the human body. Well, I mean, he did study the mouth a lot, and so perhaps he is.
He's just clowning. He's not talking about it. So now I'm curious. We have to go see exactly what is all this hype about. So we're gonna look for Solomon real quick and find out what is going on, because this video now has got me wondering what this is all about. This is really not making any sense. Okay, so first we had what happened between Solomon and Israel. So let's go ahead and see if this one starts us out on anything first. I got to get something out of this. Okay, so there's a Solomon guy. All right, and then there's the other guy. Okay, so we got a little bit on this one. Watch a little bit on this one. So let me get a little bit, figure out what's going on over here with these peoples, and then we'll move on to the next subject. I'm just very curious. I enjoy watching this stuff because it's kind of entertaining. So we're gonna see exactly what they are beefing about. So here we go. Here we go.
Greg was never mine at any point.
Solomon Nelson, is that correct?
Yes.
Solomon recently exposed Dr. Mike Israel for a thesis that was, let's just say, not very good. Did you expect that video to go viral like that?
I mean, I knew it would get some attention, but I had no idea it would blow up like that much.
I really wanted to know this. What made you interested in Dr. Mike in the first place? Because I only know of two people that have read that thesis. One was my friend's, his wife had read it and told me about how many mistakes there was in it and was explaining how bad it really was. And then you read it. And so what made you want to read that in the first place? What got you interested in Mike? Were you a fan of Dr. Mike for a while, or just take?
So it seems like on this one, he's just trying to clear up the other guy, the Israel guy. So I'm going to see. Is it Solomon Nelson? I'm going to see what that other one was about. Okay, here we go. Is that him? Okay, this is a long video. I cannot watch this whole video. We can't watch this whole thing, but we're going to get some ideas to what's going on, because I just can't leave it hanging like this. So here we go. So here's the guy he was talking about, the Solomon guy, 50,000 views and whatever or something. I don't think that's him. Might be a different dude. I don't know. But I found the video, so let's go ahead and check this out. There we go.
Yes, master.
Solomon Nelson, release the livestream phase.
I pray you have considered the cost. It shall be done.
Jeff Nippard, a former client of mine, has turned nasty. Before we get into that, some context is needed. As you're probably aware, Mike Israel has officially responded to my recent viral video, Mike Israel's PhD, the biggest academic sham in fitness, in which I single-handedly unearthed what has turned out to be an academic scandal. This video will critically analyze Jeff Nippard's reaction to the situation. For those unfamiliar, Jeff Nippard is a prominent figure in the fitness world. He's a competitive bodybuilder, a highly successful YouTuber, and a self-proclaimed exercise scientist. My former client, Jeff Nippard, has not only weighed in on my critique of Mike Israel's PhD thesis in the comments section of Mike Israel's Instagram page, but also reached out to me via email and Instagram direct messages with, among other things, a very interesting request. In chapter 2 of this video.
So what we have here is fitness beefs. Okay, we got some fitness beefing. So as you didn't know, this is who Coach Greg was talking about. I guess it's the Solomon guy. And yeah, so he basically exposed these two big prominent fitness influencer dudes. So we're gonna see how this pans out. And this is a long video, but I don't think we're gonna make it. But we're gonna see how far we get.
I'll outline the story where Mike Israel first alleged that I reviewed a mistakenly uploaded draft copy of his doctoral thesis, but subsequently admitted that I'd reviewed the correct text. I'll then pivot to Jeff Nippard in Chapter 3, where I'll provide some important framing by going over my history with this so-called scientist. On critical.
Okay, we got in chapter, so here we go, Chapter 2, the first big fat guy.
On hearing about my review of Mike Israetel's dissertation. The author, Dr. Mike, claimed that the version of the thesis that I downloaded was a draft, uploaded to the university's official repository by mistake.
We now know Solomon was looking at an accidentally uploaded incorrect rough draft.
I've lied. I've lied a lot.
I guess technically I submitted the wrong draft to the graduate school.
Lying is easy as hell. I can do it at the drop of a hat.
A mere 4 days later.
Wow, that's crazy. Oh my goodness. Okay, so this is how we starting this off. Okay, this is gonna be good. Oh no, we might have to. Oh my goodness, I got something I gotta do to. Oh my god. All right.
Mike confessed on Instagram that the version that I'd read and reviewed was in fact the one that had been examined and passed in 2013. It therefore looks as if Mike lied about a superior version existing in 2013, that he had concocted a clean version for upload in October 2025 to substitute fraudulently for the one that was examined, that the cover-up was not going to convince anyone intelligent, and that the lie would backfire. So he walked it back. In the meantime, however, a lot of people had rallied behind Mike, denouncing me as a fool who had read and reviewed the wrong version, as if I somehow hadn't exercised due caution with my library skills. Jeff Nippard, the self-proclaimed scientist, was among them. A gullible Jeff Nippard rashly assumed that Dr. Mike must be genuine, that his concocted, cleaned-up thesis must have been the correct one.
Bro said he can lie like it ain't nothing. That's what a lot of people out here doing social media too, so be careful with that. But yeah, all right, he said he can lie like it ain't nothing. He can look dead at the camera and just tell you a bold-faced lie with no problem. He is a skilled liar, skilled sociopath.
That went to examine.
Or is it narcissist? Is that the word that people use? A narcissist? Yeah, shut up.
In 2013, a scientist should have known better than to accept that story. It should have been obvious to anyone with a sense of logic that Mike's story was improbable. Coach Greg called it immediately. Thousands of people on the internet began to see red flag after red flag in the clean copy that was supposed to replace the crap version that I'd reviewed. It looked like a forgery. It was obvious to everyone with a clear cognitive capacity that Mike's story didn't wash. Even Mike could eventually see it and fessed up. But now let's get to the story of how Jeff Nippard decided to weigh in on all of this with his razor-sharp intellect.
He's got a donkey.
This chapter describes my rich history with Jeff Nippard, which will nicely contextualize his recent attacks on me. As a teenage lifter, I was a huge admirer of Jeff's. He was, at one point, my favorite content creator. However, I grew disillusioned with him upon reading several of his frankly terrible training programs. And when I say terrible, I truly mean it.
Alrighty, here we go.
On the 6th of January 2024, a 24-year-old Solomon Nelson released a video critiquing Jeff Nippard's bench press specialization program. In the video, I contended that it contained workouts that'd be physically impossible for most. The impossible workout calls for 4 sets of 6 reps at 85% of 1 rep max, with 3 to 5 minute rest intervals between sets on the bench press. So most online calculators suggest that the number of reps you can perform in an all-out set of any exercise done at 85% of 1 rep max is about 5 to 6. Hilariously, 2 of the 3 references in the calculator that Jeff Nippard provides in his book on pages 64 to 65 suggest that 5 reps is the absolute maximum number of reps you can perform at 85% of 1 rep max, with the 3rd reference on the table suggesting that you can perform 6 reps at 85% of 1 rep max. Even Dr. Pak Androulakis Korakakis, whom Jeff has interviewed, has a chart that you can download from his website, which suggests that you can only do 5 to 6 reps at 85% of 1 rep max. In most powerlifting programs, the very maximum number of reps you'll see prescribed at 85% of 1 rep max is 5, which leaves at most 1 rep in reserve. But it doesn't.
I don't see how you can. This is just me. At 85% for 4 reps, 3 to 5 minute reps in between. I don't think you can do that every single time. Maybe 3 5-minute rests in between, but that's hard. That's hard.
Doesn't stop there. See, Jeff doesn't want you to do just one top set of 6 at 85% of your 1 rep max. No, Jeff wants you to do 3 more sets the exact same way.
Okay, cool. That's exactly what I just came to. Okay, so I was saying, I was like, that's hard. Like, how the hell can you pull that off? Like, that's damn near impossible. At 85% of whatever your max is, that's hard. Like, you're not getting that again at all. Like, there's no way. 5 to 6 reps at 80, nah, that's not gonna work. That's what I was thinking already. That's what I just said. I was like, that sounds damn near impossible to do. Like, no.
With 3 to 5 minute rest intervals. Jeff's program asks you to train to or even beyond failure with 0 performance loss across 4 sets. I really have no words for how incredibly poorly this workout is designed. I mean, it is quite literally impossible by design, whether Jeff intended it to be or not. I mentioned Pak Androulakis.
Okay, cool. I agree with that wholeheartedly. There's no way you can do the exact same amount of reps every single time unless you go 85 the first time, then like 75 the second time, then 65% the third time. You know what I mean? Like that, but not just across the board. By the time you get to the second set, you only probably throwing it up 2 or 3 times. Yeah, you probably won't even get it up 6 the first time, but yeah, okay. So, all right, so I see where he's at. All right, so he dissected this dude, man. He actually went in and did some dissecting.
Korakakis in my critique of Jeff Nippard's bench press specialization program. A quick note is now necessary for him. His recent reference to executing Order 66 on me is a staggering lapse in professional judgment.
They call us influencers, but where were they when we were Order 66ing Rich Piana's ex-wife in the comments back in the good day when he got slapped by Rich Piana? RIP Rich Piana. Shout out Jason Genova.
To invoke a meme synonymous with the cruel, coordinated cyberbullying of a famously vulnerable individual who no longer wants to be in the public eye is not some clever inside joke.
All right, so we're going to skip a little bit ahead to about right here because I can't keep just going over this because he is moving very slow for me. So we're going to go to the first comment. So let's go with this right here. After we get up this damn Ouija board off the screen and skip this damn ad because we ain't trying to get no Ouija boards over here. They wildin'. Yeah, you wildin'. Dude gonna nod his head at me. I know you hear me about that Ouija board. But anyway, we're going to go to the next part. We're going to skip through this thing because it's long and I'm not going to watch the whole thing. We're going to go in and look a little bit just to kind of get an update as what's going on because fucking Coach Greg got me all like, what's going on? So now I got to figure this out. So here we go.
Green is my comment exchange with Jeff about his bench press specialization program. Jeff publicly conceded that the program was flawed and in need of an update. Jeff attempted to downplay the severity of the issue. He described the percentages as merely a bit too high and suggested that the impossible workout wasn't a huge deal. I dismissed.
All right, so he's basically saying that it's not a huge deal. I hear to most people running this program are not advanced enough that the sets would be impossible. Yes, it would damn near be impossible. Still, I'm going to adjust the numbers. You should have did that already until somebody came and critiqued you on it.
Mantled Jeff's defense. I clarified that the problem wasn't minor, but rather a fundamentally impossible workout, 4 sets of 6 at 85% of 1 rep max, prescribed for his target audience. I exposed the flaws in his reasoning by pointing out that his suggestion to adhere to RPE guidelines was irrelevant, as no such guidelines were provided for the workout in question. Only the impossible percentages were. I also challenged his contradictory claim that most people running this program are not advanced enough for it to be impossible.
Most people running this program are not advanced enough that the sets would be impossible. Yes, it would. If you're, I mean, who's running the program then? Are you only? You don't have control over that. I mean, unless you're guaranteeing that everybody like Larry Wills is running your program, which that's not going to be the case. All right, so he's basically calling him out on his BS. So let's see what he says.
Reminding him that the program was explicitly advertised and sold to intermediate and advanced trainees. However, I was so starstruck that the great Jeff Nippard decided to grace my small channel that I decided to send him an email offering to review his other programs privately and free of charge, because I genuinely wanted to help him put out better, more scientifically accurate information. However, after a few months of waiting for a reply that never came, I decided I'd keep reviewing his bad programs publicly, since I figured if I can't help his huge audience behind the scenes, then I may as well caution it in public.
Oh no! When a scientist meets a real, when a social media scientist meets a real scientist, I guess, I don't know. I think it's still kind of funny. He went all the way out to critique him, but however, he's getting some push, he's getting views, he's getting subscribers, so he's basically doing what 50 Cent did to Ja Rule. This is actually kind of good. If you look at what's going on, bro said I got to get into this YouTube game, and he straight up came through with documentation. He's not. Then he's putting out the DMs and the messages between, and then the fact that he got his attention. That's what got him. That's the thing. The fact that Jeff went out of his way and got his attention. If Jeff would have just shut up and fixed it and then let the guy like continue doing his thing, but he went out of his way, spoke to the dude, gave him attention. But then again, when you're doing stuff like this behind the scenes, who knows what kind of, secret stuff they could be doing. This might just be a ploy for entertainment and people's attention, or this could be an actual real thing. I don't know. The way I look at things, it looks like the whole world is a stage, so I can't. The supernova. Who could the supernova be? Let me see. The supernova. And I see his face. There he is. I would go to sleep, bro, but I got to run this stream because my son is on a fall break. So normally I would be knocked out by now, but I got to be up and run this stream later in the evening. So we doing a stream. I'm staying up. Uh-oh, where's my thing? Here we go.
Publicly was his so-called women's specialization program, whatever that means. I released my critique on the 27th of May, 2024. I argued that the...
Plus, I'm getting over a sickness I had from yesterday. I was feeling horrible. I'm surprised I got my stream off. I did a stream like this yesterday, like late night. Felt horrible, but I still pulled it off, so we got to get it in, bro. We got to get it in.
Program contains 5 major flaws. 1. Inbuilt junk volume.
So if you've got room to progress in weight or reps, and yet you're always lifting the exact same weights for the exact same reps, then by definition, you'll eventually be doing junk volume.
Information.
All right, so I'm going to jump past a little bit of this stuff because I'm not going to, like I said, I'm not going to do this whole video because I can't. I just can't. I got something I do got to do here in a little bit. So we're going to skip through a little bit and just run through this whole thing just to kind of get an update as what's going on. Because like I said, we did the Coach Greg video and his video was talking about this. So I want to catch up and see what's going on and see what the beef is about. So probably do a little bit more and then I'll be done with this and move to the next segment. So here we go. Appreciate you, Nova. You the man. Wait, why are you still up, Negro?
Following my...
Why are you still up? Let's actually ask the real question. What you still doing up? you up supporting your homie. I appreciate that. Thank you. You know what? Gotta give a round of applause to the man Supernova. He even changed his name. That's how good he is. He changed his name. Supernova in the building. Shout out to Supernova. My man, my G, the super drummer, my dog. Hey, how are you doing, man? How was the wife and kids and dog? How was all that going for you? Everything good over there? Everything astute? Living a good life?
Critique. Jeff Nippard initiated contact to engage my consulting services. We began with a preliminary 1-hour review of an old program. The feedback I provided was received very positively, and he described my work as being exceptionally thorough. Based on the quality of that initial review, Jeff immediately proposed a significantly larger and more complex project with a much broader scope. We then engaged in a standard professional negotiation regarding the terms, timeline, and remuneration for this larger body of work. Ultimately, we reached a mutually agreeable arrangement, and I proceeded to complete the project as specified. I was approached by Jeff Nippard's team for a second, time-sensitive consulting project. I prioritized the work to meet their tight deadline and delivered my analysis promptly. Once again, the feedback on my contribution was explicitly positive and highly appreciative. In both instances, I was contracted for my expertise, delivered high-quality work on schedule.
Okay. So he met with his team. He got that. So now we got to see what the overview was of the response of the fat guy. So let's check this out. Yeah, man, the kids, bro. The kids and the dog. How's the kids and the dog doing? You got all that land over there. You know, you got some dogs and kids running around over there.
Recently. Public responses to my critique of Mike Israetel's PhD thesis. And he also reached out via email and Instagram direct messages. In this chapter, I'll provide an overview of Jeff's interventions. Jeff left 2 comments on Mike's Instagram page. The first, dated 4th of October 2025, read, "Bro was out here adding semicolons to Mike's rough draft from 13." Leaving his semicolons comment, Jeff Nippard contacted me to request the removal of a line in my channel description that he felt implied a current client relationship. I responded by offering to amend the line to reflect accurately that Jeff is a past client. Jeff declined this offer and asked that his name be removed entirely. He explained his reasoning by first characterizing our professional history as limited to editing work on a single unreleased program over a year ago. He also expressed a view that he doesn't align with the content style of my channel. Noticing that his emails were sent from an unfamiliar address, I paused the discussion to request identity verification before proceeding. After confirming his identity via Instagram direct messages, Jeff reiterated his request for his name to be removed entirely. He stated that he can't remember if he ever gave permission for his likeness to be used for promotion. He followed this with a long, unsolicited message detailing his personal grievances with my...
All right, so this is the nerdy version in the fitness world of 50 Cent and Ja Rule, basically. So this guy is 50 Cent. The other dude is going to be Ja Rule. He's coming in and he's finna hop in and, you know, basically throw some punches and some kicks is what he's doing. He said, "We doing all right, man. I'm interviewing for the second job since your last live streams. Oh, nice. And about to start my trucking career here soon. Then we could talk kids and dogs. Hell yeah, that's what I'm talking about, son. Just, hey, you better hop on that trucking quick, man. I haven't been seeing too good of stuff when it comes to trucking. You know, Elon ain't out there playing. He trying to have them, Elon trying to have those, whatchamacallit, them EV trucks out there. You know, I did a video on that. Showed Elon having the whole Tesla thing going on and already got them turning and doing the shit on their own. So you might when you gotta hop on that quick, bro. Elon taking over the transportation business. I'm just saying, man, you might want to hop on that quickly. Elon ain't playing out here in these streets, so yeah, but hop on that for sure, man. That trucking business would be good. Hopefully everything go good with the second job that you get, and that would be That would be fantastic, man. Hell yeah. Hopefully all that goes well. Round of applause to you for sure. My dude. Let me run through this real quick.
My other industry associates, and once again criticizing my recent content, before asking for the communication to be kept private. I didn't engage with the personal grievances outlined in Jeff's direct messages, and instead merely informed Jeff via email that I had updated my channel's description accurately and factually to state, in fact, Jeff Nippard is a past client of mine. Let us now critically analyze Jeff's interventions in support of attention.
All right, so we're going to fast forward to the last part just so I can get a rough draft sketch of this, because I do want to kind of get a heads up on it. So next time I watch another Greg Doucette video, I'll be up to par with what's going on, because it's like had me confused as to what the hell he was talking about earlier. He was just basically talking about this situation, but I didn't get it. But we're almost done, though. Oh, shit, wrong one. There we go. Hitting the wrong button.
Viewed only one program is a significant mischaracterization of our professional history. I was engaged on 2 separate occasions for paid consulting work. The first project involved a smaller review that was so well received that it led immediately to a much larger engagement involving the detailed analysis of multiple programs for a significant commercial publication. The second project alone was also much larger than a single program review. In both instances, the feedback on my contributions was explicitly positive, and the quality of my work is evidenced by the fact that I was hired a second time. The question I'm wondering is, did Jeff forget? Did he lie? Or is this just what he chooses to believe? And if Jeff lied, then once again I ask, what else might he lie about? Food for thought. Jeff says that he doesn't align with the drama and gossip I do, and yet he's the one who created it in this instance. If he didn't write those offensive, pot-stirring comments about me, then I wouldn't be making this video. You can't be a sneering provocateur and a saint at the same time. I'm wondering now, which Jeff would like to be behind his slick mask? Would the real Jeff please stand up? In an
Bro is coming at him with this is the nerdy fitness version of the 50 Cent and Ja Rule beef. This is they backing up science, PhD papers. Oh my goodness, this is funny to watch. When you listen to it, it's like, all right, I see what he's saying. You got a point. But this is the and those are curse words, by the way. Those are their version of curse words. So let's finish this up.
Another unsolicited caustic DM. Jeff told me that he considers that the expose on Mike's PhD was petty. How did he come to that conclusion? If I single-handedly discover that a doctoral thesis is vacuous and that it passed through a system...
I could understand why he's saying it's petty is because the fact that you tamper with people's money, and if you were to dig that deep into somebody else's PhD, then you would also take the time to do what you're doing and dive into his shit as well. So he felt the threat. He was like, oh no. We got to get this guy out of here. Hold on. Wait a minute. This dude is actually doing research and thorough research on papers and documentations and reading page 67 for my workout program. So that he's seen it. He's seen it coming from a mile away. He was like, shit.
That prides itself on rigor. Then how can that be considered petty? For Jeff, it's petty because in Jeff's kingdom of back scratchers, we must support a dismal understanding that we're all constitutionally mediocre. In the fitness industry, we have to accept that academic standards of originality and rigor don't apply. And it's therefore petty to critique a heap of worthless verbiage like Mike Israetel's doctoral thesis. If a doctoral thesis was so empty in any other field, then a searching critique of it would not be called petty, but alarming. Notwithstanding Jeff's flexible standard of what is fair criticism and what's petty, he waxes sanctimonious in the very next sentence of his direct message. As far as I know, fair journalistic standards are to at least reach out to the party before publishing. First, I'm not a journalist. And second, Jeff's standard of ethics here is unreasonable. Do you think that a critic about to write a review of an essay published on the internet by an authoritative source first has to reach out to the author to ask, is that your final version or just a draft?
Buddy want that work. He's like, I came out here for blood. That's what it is. He's like, look, I see that I can come at these dudes with millions of subscribers and kick down a dough and get my foot in and make me some money out here. And he's accurate and he's actually correct with what he's doing. He's done a thorough research. He's got the breakdown. He's got everything. So can't get mad at him. I think the problem is you reacted, but then again, the world is a stage. So you don't know if this is a planned thing to bring this dude in because, create the drama to give it to entertainment to people. That's how I look at it. They probably had know each other from an Eyes Wide Shut event. You know what I mean? Had the mask on, recorded you, and then, all right, cool. We'll put you down. You kind of get what I'm saying? Secrecy, if you know what I mean. Yeah, but you never know. This could be real.
Puzzle I posed at the beginning. Why? Why would Jeff Nippard, a former client who repeatedly praised and paid for my expertise, launch such a bizarre, unprofessional, misguided, and intellectually bankrupt attack over a critique that was never about him?
I think I was correct. All right, buddy. But that was good. I was good. I understand what's going on now. You came, he disrespected you, and you went ahead and basically said, he's like, hold on, bro. Who was you talking to? You had to look at him and say, first of all, bro.
FYM. Fuck y'all motherfuckers,
Who you talking to? You know what I mean? He went ahead and laid a smack down. He was like, look here, Mr. Nippard. I had to put him in his place. So I understand you, sir. We're well off to you. All right. That was good. All right. So now I understand what the little beef was all about, man, for sure. That's for sure. I actually feel him on that one. So shout out to him on that one. And for sure, we'll see how that situation pans out. That's going to be interesting to see. But that's going to be for whoops. That's going to be for the fitness segment of the show. I got to move on to the next one. He looks like Seth. He does like Seth Green. He actually does like Seth Green. But that's going to be it for the fitness segment of the show. We're going to slide on over to the the economy segment of the show because I got to rush through this a little bit quicker than I want to. But we do got some stuff that we do got to talk about. But anyway, let me switch this band off real quick and let's go ahead and get our sexy lady in here to get us into the economy segment of the show. So here we go.
Welcome to the economy segment of the show. Enjoy.
There we go. I'm over here hitting the wrong button and stuff like that, but let me go ahead and get this going real quick right here. All right, so with the economy segment of the show, let's just go ahead and get straight into it because I can't waste too much time on it. As you all know, there is a government shutdown that is being had right now that's going on, and these people is not playing out here. And as far as I know, there's a Republican in the office, but with the president that's in office, on the whitehouse.gov, this man literally has a countdown, and it says the Democrats have shut down the government. I just can't. So the Democrats allegedly has shut down the government. And as you can see right here, we got the timer. We are 9 days, 21 hours, and 38 minutes and counting going on. So as you know, stuff is really happening. That's hitting everything. And if the time and the last time a government shutdown did happen was when Trump was in office last time in 2019, I believe. I had showed the list of the government shutdowns that had been had since the 70s. And we looked all the way at all of them. And the last one we did have was Trump in 2019. And the longest one we had was Trump in 2019. It was 32 or 34 days, right? So with all of that government shutdown that's been going on, This one, I'm kind of curious if, you know, there's going to be a stalemate and they're going to sit down and like really like prolong this one, because at the end of the day, they still getting paid, right? They're still getting paid. And also, if you look into it deeply, how I looked into it last time, they showed that the Affordable Health Care Act or something like that, they're trying to get away with the Republicans are trying to do away with it because the illegal immigrants and stuff are basically they're actually getting that service, and Trump don't want them to have it. But the Democrats are saying if he does do away with it, then that will spike up the price for the affordable health care 114%. And so I'm like, damn, that's a lot. So they're fighting over a bunch of different things. All while this is going on, stock market is still doing fantastic. Now, you have all these things going on, and the longer it goes on, if you don't know about now, there's different sectors that are getting hit. The military ain't getting paid, and you know they get basic allowance for housing, the food. Then you know there's a lot of people who do like the TSA, the air comp controller, the people who you know flag down and make sure the planes land. You got a whole lot of sectors that come into this: WIC, food stamps, Medicaid. All this stuff will be impacted if they don't have the money. So as this keeps going on and on and on and on and on, it's going to have a huge reverberating effect if this plays out any longer. However, we're going to take a look at this video that I got right here from what's this guy's name? Mike something. We're going to take a look at him and see what he says about the shutdown that's going on and look at it from his perspective on why the shutdown is happening. So let's let this man take it away and let's see what he has to say. So here we go.
The first day federal workers across America will receive a partial paycheck thanks to Democrats' obstruction to the system here. This is the last paycheck that 700,000 federal workers will see until Washington Democrats decide to do their job and reopen the government. Starting next week, American service members, many of whom live paycheck to paycheck, are going to miss a full paycheck. This is the number of times that the vote has been done. September 10th, the GOP in the House voted to pay the troops and pay all these federal workers. The Senate did it on September 19th, September 30th, again on October 1st, and 3rd, and 6th, and the 8th, and the 9th. Every single time the Republicans voted to pay the troops and federal workers, and every single time the Democrats voted not to. If you're a service member who's not getting a paycheck, it's because Chuck Schumer has to appease the Marxist. Cut and simple. It's plain and simple. Shame on you, Chuck. Every Senate Democrat who's going along with this, you lack the moral fortitude to do the right thing. Today marks the first day federal workers across America will.
All right. So basically, to me, when you look at this, when you look at this on the big picture, right? To me, this is what this looks like to me. Could you imagine, right? If I broke in your house, all right? Or if I caught you outside walking, I caught you and your wife walking, right? And had a problem with you. Hell, not even with you. I ain't having a problem with you. I'm outside walking. I see you and your wife, and I just smack your wife, right? Just give her the old backhand. Just hit her with the old Then I look at you and I'm like, now, you know, I didn't want to have to do that, but what you did was wrong. And if you don't correct your actions on what you did wrong to me, I'm going to have to continue to basically every time to your wife just until you get your act together. You understand me? Now, the whole time, I just want you to say sorry. But you don't want to say sorry. And every hour, maybe every day, I walk right up to your wife and I'm like, bruh, this could all be over so soon if you just tell me you sorry for what you did. And the wife is like, tell him you're sorry. Please tell him you're sorry. And you're like, no, baby, don't worry. I don't got to tell him nothing. And I'm like, you sure? And it's like, you know, she gonna keep getting this backhand if you just say you're sorry. You know what I mean? all this will be over soon. Now, the whole time, the person who is feeling the pain is neither one of us. It's her over here. She getting backhanded every single time. So we fighting over a situation that we don't feel no pain from. But her over here, she keep getting one of these. That's what's happening right now. These fools are still getting paid. They still, you know, invest in their extra money. They still, you know, go out to eat on the back end with each other, talk trash to each other. They don't lose their jobs. They don't lose a dime. They keep strolling. Hell, the stock market's been doing better since the shutdowns hit. And the whole time, everybody else is feeling the brunt. And it's just like, what the hell is going on? Which is a messed up thing. It's like, because you doing this, they gotta suffer. And it's like, bruh, that's the most messed up thing. Bruh. So he's basically saying that it's your fault that these people gotta suffer. And I'm just like, man, these people is ruthless with it. So that's basically their stance on it. They're looking at each other they're mad at the other person. So because they mad at the other person, they got to stop paying these people. And I understand it on a bigger, broader scale. I get what they're doing. I do get it, because Trump is hell-bent on these immigrants. He was hell-bent on immigrants the first time he was in office. I ain't never seen a president so hell-bent on immigrants. But then again, I can't really remember a time when we've had this many immigrants in the country. But he's like hell-bent on getting them out, and you know, he's doing ICE. He's stopping the government funding of all different things. He's doing a lot, you know what I mean? So I get what he's doing. I see why he's doing it. And the guy said also, you know, the Marxist or socialist, communist, whatever you want to call it. And he's trying to avoid that, but at the same time, it's causing a lot of pain to people. But, you know, it's one of those situations where it has to hurt before it can feel better type things. But it's just like, man, like to see it in real time actually go down and happen, it's actually pretty wild. But we have another lady right here. She's going to break down a video, and she's and that same guy who we just saw talking, you're going to hear a woman talking to him. And look at the look on his face as this woman's going to be talking to him. And she's going to be basically like telling him what he should do. Look at the look on his face and tell me how you think he feels. So here we go. We'll let her talk and check this out.
Went to day 9 of the government shutdown. House Speaker Mike Johnson went on live television, and he got a call from one woman. She said she's a Republican, a military mom, and she said she was outraged.
I have 2 medically fragile children. I have a husband who actively serves this country. I'm very disappointed in my party, and I'm very disappointed in you, because you do have the power to call the House back. You did that, or you refused to do that just for a show. I am begging you to pass this legislation. My kids could die. You could stop this, and you could be the one that could say military's getting paid. And I think that it is awful, and the audacity of someone who makes 6 figures a year to do this to military families is insane.
So military troops, they're not.
Look at bro's
not getting
face.
a.
Look at bro's face. This dude is looking at her. He's looking right at her like,
shut up, bitch. Shut up, bitch.
He didn't crack a smile, a smirk. He didn't lick his lips, barely blinked his eyes. Like, buddy does not care one bit. I'm pretty sure if she was in front of him, he would have been like, like, look at his face. He don't care. He don't care at all.
You do have the power to call the House back. You did.
He's like, yeah, I do. I do. That is correct. I do have that power. And
did that, or you refused to do that just for a show. I am begging you to pass this legislation. My kids could die. You could stop this, and you could be the one that could.
He's like, yes, I am the one. Not could be. I am.
Say military's getting paid, and I think that it is awful, and the audacity of someone who makes 6 figures a year to do this to military families is insane.
So military troops, they're not getting.
Yeah, bro ain't trying to hear that. Bro already made his point clear with this last statement right here. When he put this out here, he was quite clear on what he was saying. And I don't know if she said this before the fact or after the fact, but he made it very clear.
Receive a partial paycheck thanks to Democrats' obstruction to the system here. This is the last paycheck.
He's like, I don't care what you say. I've made my statement. I said what I said. Now you can. And let me continue doing what I'm doing. I mean, and at the end of the day, like I said, I get why they're doing it. It's just like, I think it's bad timing. You know what I mean? Because at the same time, it's like, dude, there's a shitload of layoffs going on. There's also a freaking hiring freeze, as I might add, as we'll take a look right here. As you can see right here, Walmart CEO Doug McMillon announced a global hiring freeze for the next 3 years, reshaping all of the current roles through automation and artificial intelligence. So Walmart is doing a hiring freeze, but all entry-level jobs are going to be going through a huge renovation when it comes to automation and artificial intelligence. So, and Walmart is one of the biggest retailers of anywhere, really. Like, I mean, hell, at least in America for sure. And they're doing a hiring freeze for the next 3 years. So therefore, if they're going to reshape all of their current roles, how many jobs are going to be gone? Because we've already seen it now. Damn, there ain't no cashiers. You know what I mean? You got the dude at the front that check your stuff when you're walking in and out. You got, customer service reps and return stuff. They probably gonna be gone. Like, there's a lot of things that can be replaced within Walmart where the human interaction or the human employees will no longer be needed. So if they're gonna be doing that, and they're saying that they're doing that for the next 3 years, Walmart's gonna be the test run for the rest of jobs down the line. If Walmart does it, and people gonna look at Walmart and be like, hey, did it work? How was it working? What's your ROI? How much money you save? How's it looking? How does it work? Like, they're gonna turn around and be like, yo, this stuff is working fantastic. Like, you need to go ahead and hop on this. So a bunch of other businesses are going to follow in suit when this goes down. A bunch, because Walmart has that power. You know what I mean? Like, they have that power. So if people see Walmart doing it and it works well, it's gonna be a done deal for a bunch of jobs across the sector. So also we have, what else is it? Where's this other right here? I gotta find this real quick. Where is it? And not just Walmart. This has been going on for a good minute. We also have, let's see. Let me pull this up for you right here. Also, Meta freezes AI hiring after blockbuster spending spree. Company reorganizes its sprawling artificial intelligence operation, whose spiraling cost has drawn investor scrutiny. So Meta's got a slight issue. And then you have this right here, the federal staffing levels. No, that's not it. Yeah, well, actually, we'll take a look at it. Federal staffing levels are obscene. There is no desire in either party to downsize. This person said that they need to eliminate 12 million jobs and have a hiring freeze for the next 40 months on non-essential employees. This is exactly what the private sector would do. Well, that's going to be interesting to see. And then what's this next one right here? No, not that one. Where is it right here? First we'll implement. No, that's not it. Where is it? A temporary hiring freeze until Trump administration is fully in place. Additionally, within 90 days of the date of this memorandum, the Director of Management and Budget in consultation with the Director of the OPM and the administration. So we see there's a hiring freeze, and this was January 20th, 2025. So there's a bunch of hiring freezes been happening as well. The Ford government has announced a hiring freeze at 143 agencies, including Metrolinx, Ontario Health, and Landlord and Tenant Board, and Legal Aid Ontario. So there's a bunch of hiring freezes that are going on. It's not just what we see. I mean, they're everywhere that's going on. The city of Chicago is executing a citywide hiring freeze and limiting non-essential travel and overtime. So city of Chicago, this was September 9th, 2024. So this stuff has been going on for time over time. Now, right here, we have an unemployment nears a 4-year high as job growth stalls. So unemployment hitting a 4-year high for 4 years. Now, if we look at this chart right here, we got 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Okay, now technically, I would say this over here, this start right here would be 2020. So coming out of the pandemic, I mean, we could say the pandemic was here. We could say like here or something like that, slightly under here. Now, if we go from the pandemic over here, we are way over here, down here. So you can see that we have passed pandemic levels of unemployment. Even if you look at the blue line, like here's this little baby blue line right here. And let's say if it was just going down a little bit, it would probably be here. That's still lower here in the current time. So we are basically lower than the pandemic levels of unemployment and job growth stalls. We're doing extremely bad when it comes to job growth and unemployment. And on top of that, the government shutdown and layoffs of government employees on top of that is not looking too shabby, and it's forcing you to be in an entrepreneur role, because that's where we're headed. We're headed into entrepreneurship. That's what they want everybody to basically be. You need to either be a entrepreneur, or you keep running in this loop of like, I'll take anything, I'll do any job, because they have you by the balls. They basically are like, well, you know, if you can't, they're basically looking at you like, if you can't make up your money on your own, then you're going to have to listen to us making money. And, you know, you see how we get down. Like whenever we feel like shutting shit down, we're going to shut it down, or we're going to stop hiring, or we're going to, you know what I mean? They can do anything that they want. So you're forever in debt to these people. And you'll forever be stuck in this vicious cycle on how they run things. So in today's world, the jobs are not very stable, especially if you're one who doesn't have a very high education level. And even people with education and degrees are having a hard time, and people are going back to school to get degrees in education to further their jobbing. But at the same time, student loans is debt, and people who don't pay their student loans have basically turned the student loan debt thing into another form of child support. So if you get delinquent or fall behind on that, they're garnishing your wages. So you just fall into deeper debt, and you don't want to be in like debt. Because people who have got $50,000, $100,000, $200,000 worth of debt, I mean, that's not good. You don't want to be in debt. Like even the Bible tried to teach you, like, don't be in debt. You don't want to be in debt to nobody. You are the slave if you are in debt. So now we're going to take a look at this video from this one creator by the name of Orlando Minor. We're going to take a look at this video that he has, and basically looking at the federal workers and how they feel about their paychecks vanishing, basically. So we're going to see how people who are federal employees, to see how they think and how they feel with the current situation that they're going through and how things are going. Because as you know, federal employees are having a hard time, but then what jobs can you go out and get if Walmart is basically doing a hiring freeze, but for the next 3 years, but they're implementing AI and artificial intelligence, same thing, but they're implementing that to basically replace all the entry-level jobs and maybe mid-level jobs. So the job market is going to be way more fierce and much more harder. So we're just going to take a look at this video and see how all this pans out. So let's go ahead and look at this video and get it going.
Have an idea? We're talking about not showing up for work, right? Let's start with the unpaid government workers. They not getting paid no way. I don't work if I don't get paid. Now just think about that. Airport's going to shut down. Ain't no TSA people. There ain't nobody in the air traffic control box. That's just one piece of it. They need to stop going to work. And guess what? They can say they're going to replace them, like we'll hire more people. Who the f going to take a job when they know they ain't getting no check and don't know when they're going to get it?
Look how fast things change. Listen, I did a video a week ago and I tried to forewarn people. Listen, I know you guys trust these guys. I know you think your favorite politician is family. I know you think these corporations will back you up. They'll pat you on the back and say, you know what, we're gonna give you a raise. You know what, during these hard times, we're gonna bunker down for you. I know you guys thought that they were gonna have your back.
Why you crazy?
One of the comments that I got on that video is, Orlando, I know what you're saying, but we're gonna get back pay. This is nothing but a paid vacation. And I said, oh, God, first time.
Or when AI is dominating entry-level and mid-level job
we're
positions.
in a different era. We really are. And the way things are going, the way that this economy is going, I don't know which one is going to happen first. Either they're going to say, we're not going to pay you, or it's going to be a long shutdown. And we all know what happens in long shutdowns.
No resting! Move faster!
Then the news came out that the White House said, we're not going to pay anyone any back pay for people who are furloughed.
Come on, man.
And this is what you get. The clip in the beginning? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Said, hey, listen, if you ain't gonna pay us, we ain't showing up to work. And man, we're here. How many layoffs do you think will happen? How many people won't get back pay? How many? What's gonna happen? We're gonna go over it, guys. We're gonna break it down. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna tell you exactly if this thing continues on, what will happen. Orlando, come on, man. Well, where are you getting this fake news from? Well, let's just take a look at it. It says here, White House floats no back pay for some furloughed workers despite 2019 law. Now, some of you might say, where's this coming from, Orlando? Well, it's coming directly from the horse's mouth. I mean, let's go ahead and just take a look at this short clip.
Why do you say some federal workers should not get their back pay? Why do you say some?
Well, you're going to have to figure that out, okay? Ask the Democrats that question.
You see that?
Golly. He said, you're gonna have to figure that out. Ask the Democrats that question. What's gonna happen is gonna happen. What will be done. And yeah, they're not getting back pay. So they can quit, we won't really care because we have an agenda that we need to fulfill, and we're gonna fulfill it regardless of how much it hurts. So he's like, he basically, in a nutshell, he looked at her and he was like, get your ass out of here.
Again, listen. I know what people are gonna say. Orlando, this is politics and all that. He's just playing a game. I mean, would you want to play a game with your job? Who cares what side you're affiliated with? But my question to you is, why do you believe any of them? But let me guess. Listen, I can hear you guys in the back. I hear some people saying, Orlando, listen, what that clip you used maybe was out of context. Well, let's go down the line. Let's just go.
It is true that in previous shutdowns, many or most of them have been paid for the time that they were furloughed. But there is new legal analysis. I don't know the details. I just saw a headline this morning. I'm not read in on it, and I haven't spoken to the White House about it. But there are some legal analysts who are saying that that may not be appropriate or necessary in terms of the law requiring that back pay be provided. So I'm sure that'll be there will be a lot of discussion about that.
Yeah.
But there are legal analysts who think that that is not something that government should do. If that is true.
And you telling me that the politicians you trust are telling you there's a legal way to not pay you?
Oh boy. Okay. And by the way, let me, for those of you who don't know what furloughed means, let's go ahead and get a quick crash course on furlough. We're going to pull it up right here so you can see. Here we go. All righty. So let me go furlough. Let's see if we can figure out what this means, because it does have a meaning and not all the people understand it. Where is it? There it is. Furlough, suspension or discharge of a worker or workers on account of economic conditions or shortage of work, especially when temporary. Verb, suspend or discharge from a job, especially temporary, on account of economic conditions or shortage of work. The company temporarily shuttered 2 plants and furloughed 800 workers. Basically saying that they will not be getting back pay to these workers because of the furlough. And yeah, it's not looking too shabby. That's gonna be very painful. So yeah, here we go. These economic conditions is gonna be rough out here, I'll tell you that much. It's not looking too shabby. But let's continue. Where'd I go? Oh, there we go. I found it. Here we go. Let's continue. Here we go.
Corruption is only bad if I'm not involved.
Don't spend
Corruption is only bad if I'm not involved. Wow. How many people think like that are in positions to basically put their foot in your ass whenever they have control over your finances? But I digress. Let's continue.
This is the reason why we have these conversations where I say, make sure you take care of you and yours first. This is the reason why I tell you guys to have an emergency savings account. This is the reason why I told you to focus on yourselves. And people said, Orlando, listen, man, I got to go out here and my job, they're never going to let me go. And I said, listen, the way that this economy is going, it's going to be a rough year.
I don't think you have the facilities for that, big man.
But it gets worse than that. People are getting angry. They're getting angry. They're saying, this isn't fair. We thought you had our backs. What are you talking about? You're not going to pay us now. What did I say in my last couple of videos? Things seem okay if you only have a government shutdown 3-4 days. But what happens when you start going into the next paycheck and no one gets paid? And the next paycheck and no one gets paid? Well, let's hear from some federal workers.
Oh, I don't know why federal employees are complaining. They're going to get their back pay. They just shut up and just go to work. You're going to get your back pay. Years. It took years to get all of the money we were owed from the last shutdown. Let me explain. So, 6 years ago, during the 2018-2019 government shutdown that lasted 35 days, my husband is an air traffic controller. He was required to go into work, and he went into work. Every day he was scheduled. He went in for overtime. They canceled vacations. He did everything he was supposed to do. He finally got paid. So the thing is, they make it sound like, well, the government's back open, here's your money. No, it comes on your next scheduled paycheck, which was not the day the government reopened. It was still, like, I think over a week, maybe 10 days before we actually got that first paycheck back. And this time around, instead of doing a one lump sum payment like they had done in the past, where you get taxed at like 40% or something ridiculous, because it's literally like, I think it was like 3 or 4 paychecks that they had, given them, they decided to spread it out into each paycheck, just little bits at a time. So it didn't bump everybody up into the next tax bracket, which was fine. Great. But that took 4 months before we finally had, okay, they've now paid out. We had to track every hour and make sure, he got paid.
It's so funny how everyone forgets. During that long shutdown that was 35 days, there was this same panic. But since we haven't had a government shutdown in years and years, in 10 plus years, most people forgot.
People don't forget.
They said to themselves, oh no, this is the way it's always been done.
Are you out of your goddamn mind?
They threaten you guys with a shutdown, and then they really don't shut down. So everybody gets paid, nothing stops. But this year felt different, didn't it? It felt different.
Yeah, this year does feel different. This one, it seems like they gonna hold on to that back pay. They're not giving you that back pay for sure. I just don't see it coming. I don't think they're gonna give the back pay. I don't think. Well, I ain't gonna say I don't think. He wasn't playing when he said he's gonna make the federal government smaller. So if you're gonna make the federal government smaller, you're gonna keep that money, and then you're gonna look at the ones you let go of, and you're probably gonna say,
FYM. Fuck y'all motherfuckers,
That's just what it looks like in today's world. It just feels that way. This one, yeah, this guy ain't playing around. I mean, and it's a whole lot of beef within the government this time around. So like this side hates the DEI hires, and this side also hates all the inclusion and equity and all that stuff that they doing. So it's gonna be, yeah, this ain't looking too shabby, bro. This ain't gonna end well, and it's gonna hurt a lot.
Political climate is different. Economic climate is different. Inflation, everything is high. Everything feels different this time.
Help me! Help me!
Well, that came out of nowhere. They got me quickly. That's true. This time around, though, last time when he did it, what was it? It's 2019, so pre-pandemic, things felt better. Money was rolling in better. All this stuff, stuff didn't cost as much. So it was like, People wasn't feeling as much pain. Real estate prices was going up. Everything was good. Now this time around, people can't sell their houses. Real estate prices are going down. Sellers are stuck in their real estate. Buyers don't want to buy houses that are too expensive because they see it. They can go down some more to get a better deal. Price of commodities is going up. The value of the dollar is going down. Inflation on groceries and food and all sorts of, it's too much going on. Car payments are through the roof, insurance, it's everything. So yeah, this one ain't looking too shabby whatsoever.
So what has been my message the entire time? Prepare, prepare, prepare. Now, I know a lot of you guys say, Orlando, listen, I get what you're saying. You're saying prepare. You're saying, but what is the point of preparing? So that you don't end up like this. So you don't end up with no job, with your job telling you, we might fire you. What? And yeah, the back pay we normally promise you, I know, you were waiting on that to pay on your bills. We're not going to pay you that. If you would have had an emergency savings account. I know, Orlando, with the emergency savings account. I get it. You're asking us to save. Look at this. Somebody come look at this. I'm not saying for everyone, it's going to totally eliminate all of your issues. I'm not saying that because that's not the point of saving. The point of having the emergency savings account is so that you can get through emergencies. That's right. I said it. So when you have no income coming in, and your bills are due, what are you going to do? What are most people going to do? I can tell you what they're going to do. They're going to go to a credit card. That's crazy. That includes.
That credit card is going to hurt, boy, because, what is it? Klarna? I think the Klarna credit cards, they're able to actually bring legal action against you and take you to court. I mean, so if people go that route and credit cards, not just Klarna, but other credit cards are able to take you and hold you to court action over credit cards, that's going to be a recipe for disaster. And not only that, I mean, if they put student loans as wage garnishments, can they slowly but surely trickle down other forms of debt as wage garnishments under the clause of a breach of contract? You never know, but we'll see how it goes. Let's go. Here we go.
Groceries. That includes gas. That includes your rent, your mortgage, anything underneath the sun of living, you're going to pay on the credit card. 26% interest. Wow. And here's the thing. I'm not trying to tell you to prepare to give your money to me or to anyone else. I'm telling you to prepare for yourself. The money stays with you. All you have to do is put it aside.
Furloughed workers like Dr. Ashaki Robinson shared their stories and struggles at today's council meeting. She tells me missing out on back pay.
It would be absolutely devastating. It would put me at risk of losing my home. It would put me at risk of a lot of different things because most people don't have tens of thousands of dollars waiting just in case the government shuts down. I mean, most of us are a couple of paychecks away from true devastation.
A sentiment echoed by another furloughed worker who did not want to share their identity due to fears of retribution.
I would be in the bankruptcy line along with some of these other individuals here. If that was the case, a lot of us would have to file bankruptcy. Seriously, because we wouldn't be able to pay our mortgages when we do go back, if we do go back.
Look, I wasn't BSing you. I'm telling you. 1, 2, 3. You dare get to 4 paychecks? I think that's worse than bankruptcy. This is not funny. You heard the lady. She said no one has tens of thousands of dollars just sitting, just in case the government shut down. And I would say that is true. But where you're messing that up is you're not saving for if a government shutdown happens. You're saving for yourself. Fact. You're saving that if anything happens, that you're okay. I'm not going to sit up here and say that you losing your income is equivalent to a car repair. I'm not going to say that. But what I will say is that pool of money that you use to remedy those issues, it comes from the same account. So at the beginning of the video, I told you guys, I'm going to share to you what I believe is.
And you want to ask yourself the question, if what this lady was saying earlier, she was saying that I'm, if I get furloughed or whatever, or if I don't get back pay while I'm furloughed, it's gonna be devastating. And the lady was like, I'm gonna be in that bankruptcy line like everybody else in fear of losing their home. I would say that's part of the plan. If you ask me, I would look at it as this is a good way for people with a lot of money to swoop down and get a bunch of homes from people falling behind or, losing their ass on a bankruptcy, on eviction, or whatever. And then you can just come in and take those homes and buy them for pennies off the dollar and just increase your real estate portfolio. I would say that this is a good recipe for a big bank take a little bank. That's how I see it. I'm like, it sucks, but when you look at the big picture, I would say that this government shutdown, if performed the way I think it's gonna go, probably held for like 60, 90 days. I'm thinking it's gonna be longer than the first one. I don't see this going on for like another week or two. I think it's gonna go on for like 34, 35 days was the first one. This one's gonna outperform that one. That's what I think. And with that happening, it's a perfect recipe to increase the wage gap, basically, to increase the wage gap between the haves and the have-nots. So when people lose their homes on real estate, just come in, even in like the poor neighborhoods, you can come in, buy those homes for cheap, and then turn around and gentrify a bunch of different areas. You know what I mean? It's like, well, a lot of people lost their homes over here, so we can just gentrify the areas. And when you buy those homes in those areas and fix them up or whatever, you're going to increase the value around that. They're not going to be able to handle the property taxes on what it's just a domino effect. But this seems like a recipe to hurt a lot of people financially and just create a wealth gap, increase the portfolio of the rich people, and, just keep on pushing. You know what I mean? Like, it's one of the economic warfare tactics is how I see it. This is like an economic warfare tactic. They up here fighting, but you down here feeling the brunt. You know what I mean? Like, these people are fighting, but these people down here are just feeling the brunt of everything. And it's like, sorry, what is it? Casualties of war. That's all it is. But let's finish this up. We're almost done.
It's going to happen. What's going to continue to happen on this? And it's already started to happen. You're going to see individuals start calling off of work. You're going to start seeing people say, is it worth it anymore? You know what? I'm going to try to go through these loopholes, which is calling off sick.
That's a great idea. I'm with that.
Many federal workers are going to say, we just need to shut this down. I'm not going in if I don't even know if I'm going to get paid. Why am I working if I don't know if I'm going to be paid?
Now, it depends on what their positions are. For the people who are saying, I'm not going to go in and not get paid, then the question is going to raise is, can your job be replaced with AI? And then this is basically they're gonna look at this and be like, well, we can replace a bunch of these jobs with AI. And if they can use that to be like, see, look, they quit, we don't got to rehire them. We ain't got to pay them. We ain't got to worry about none of this no more. Now we just fill all these positions with, all of these little bitty AI agents and AI models, and we can just have this thing, ran on the AI. And then now coming back in, the money that we make now is tenfold on top of the back pay that we kept. So I think this is one of the strategies economically to bring in AI for entry-level jobs and jobs that they feel like they no longer need to employ humans for. That's how I see this. This is what I think is going on. So hopefully I'm wrong, but I think I'm right. Let's continue.
And the reason I'm giving you is because this happened in the last shutdown that we had. The 35-day shutdown, people just started calling off of work. People decided, you know what? I'm done. And next thing you know, TSA agents, air traffic control, we're already low staffed. A lot of these places are already saying that they're low staffed based on what they're saying. So if you're already low staffed, and then people are already calling off, what does that mean for your safety? You're going to get on a plane when there's No air traffic controllers? But listen, I know. Orlando, come on. Are air traffic controllers really deciding not to show up for work? Is TSA really gonna do something like that? That's gonna hurt all of us. I still gotta catch planes, and I don't wanna be unsafe.
Tonight, just a week into this government shutdown, the disruption to air travel is growing. The FAA now warning of staff shortages at least 8 major air traffic control facilities, threatening cancellations and delays across the country. From Las Vegas to Chicago, Dallas and Houston to Boston, Newark, Atlanta, and Nashville, air traffic controllers are working without pay and now calling out sick.
It's closed. Everything in the tower is closed.
Last night, the airport in Burbank, California, was forced to close its tower for nearly 6 hours because it had no staff.
Unlimited 1.5%.
6 hours, no staff. Yo, that's I wonder if that was recently or was that the last time this thing happened? Because I don't remember this thing being that bad the last time it happened. But you know, they say aircraft controller, whatever you want to call it. They say it's a tough job too. They say it's a very stressful job. I hear that job is extremely stressful. So to not pay them to do that extremely stressful job, I mean, I wouldn't blame them for not calling, calling out and not coming in.
In San Diego were able to take over air traffic control, but flights were delayed for hours.
Is it because of the shutdown that you guys are going? It's for staffing.
Air traffic controllers are considered essential workers, and they don't get back pay until a shutdown is over. They're already facing extreme staffing shortages and problems with outdated equipment. Tonight, the union telling us the situation is not a coordinated sick out. It's urging members to report for work, but says these air traffic controllers have bills to pay too.
We work evening shifts. We work midnight shifts. We have single parents. And when you're not even able to afford the childcare, those are going to be the very difficult decisions that are made.
Yeah, they're coordinating. Let's be real. I know these guys want to tell you they're not coordinating. There's no way that all of these guys would get together and say, hey, we're not getting paid. We ain't showing up to work. Is that really surprising? I mean, when I go to a restaurant,
in the world of the internet today, like, yes, they probably have a freaking group chat where they like, hey, bro, I'm not coming in. Me either. Yeah, I agree. And then somebody else probably went in there and they was like, yeah, count me in.
FYM. Fuck y'all motherfuckers, you know?
I ain't coming in either. It just went going through. Everybody's like, yeah, we all ain't going in. It's probably in a Discord. Probably in Discord on a VC sitting there talking like, yeah, we ain't doing this. This don't make no sense. Like, and then they're dealing with outdated equipment. How the hell are you a air comp controller and you have outdated equipment? Like, I didn't know that. How the hell they got outdated equipment? That's stressful. Hell no. Anyway, I think that's going to be it. I'm going to go ahead and wrap that one up because I got stuff I got to do. So we're going to wrap that one up. But yeah, that's just a look at if it shuts down, that's the airplane transportation sector that's going to get hit. But then also WIC and government housing, government assistance, that's going to get hit. And then, you just keep trickling down and then the military, I mean, they going to get tired of not getting paid and then knowing they're not getting back pay. And then also looking at people who are in the military, they got kids. What about dual people who are like double military? The husband and the wife are both military. That whole house ain't getting paid now. Or what about the one where stay-at-home mom and the husband is military? Now the home ain't getting paid. It's a lot of factors that play into this. It's a whole lot. And it's fact that everything is so expensive does not make it any better. But like I said, the way I look at it is as this is the wealthy or rich people way of waging economic warfare on the people they deem below them to be able to increase their portfolio. That's how I see this thing. I mean, they say, they feel a certain way. There's immigrant illegals and getting them off of the assistance and all that. I get that. But at the same time, there's also another effect that's being had as we can't ignore. And if people are losing their homes, who gonna buy them? You know what I mean? Like, who gonna buy the people who got money on the sideline? That's who gonna buy them. It's like, well, I mean, they lost their house in government shutdown. I mean, I guess I don't want to go to waste. I mean, they might as well pick it up and buy it for pennies on the dollar. I mean, hell, you know what I mean? It's not my fault they lost their house. You know what I mean? The sharks over there on the sideline just waiting. Money pile, just cash stashed up. They just like, yes, sir, shut down it up. Yes, sir. I hear you. They sitting there watching the news, hearing women and people complain, but we're going to lose our home and we're not going to make it and we're going to go bankrupt. And they just sitting over there like, yeah, that's what we waiting on. I've been wanting to buy real estate over there in your city, and here is the time. So that's how I look at this shutdown. I mean, they have their reason, but if you scratch the surface and look underneath, I think if you go deeper, I think it's just a way to put economic warfare on the citizens and people at hand, so the rich people can get more resources and gain more wealth. That's just how I see it. It makes sense. If I was rich and didn't give a shit about anybody else and played the game of Monopoly in a brutal way, I would do this. I mean, I would. I would do this. If I was, stupid rich and played Monopoly in real life and was like, I'll buy anything up, but I don't care who I hurt. This would be a smart move. It makes a lot of sense to do it this way. Like, why not? Like, why not? We have a reason on the top end where we try not to piss people off and make them revolt and cause a revolution. But at the end of the day, on the bottom part, we're going to take their homes as soon as they lose them. So, yeah, that's how I see it. But anyway, that's going to be it for the economy segment of the show. We're going to move on to the next segment. Let's go ahead and get this next segment pulled up. We got the AI segment of the show. We got just one short video to watch on the AI segment of the show because, like I said, I didn't have much. I'm doing a late stream, and I'm not trying to do too many late streams anymore because my ass will fall asleep on you while trying to do this late stream. And I'm only doing late stream for the simple fact that my son is on fall holiday or fall break. So while he's on fall break, it kind of ruins me doing my streams in the early morning or damn near noon time. So we're doing them now, and we still got to get them in, and we cannot stop the momentum. So with that being said, let's go ahead and hop into the AI segment of the show.
Welcome to the AI segment of the show.
Whew. Yes, sir. We are here for the AI segment of the show, and we are going to get into the video that we have today. We are going to look at big tech is trying to implement AI in schools, and is this a pro or is this a con? I'm gonna go on the limb and say it's a con, but we'll see. Whoopsies. I'm gonna say it's a con as far as how they're utilizing it, but as times change, technology is gonna be used and have to be used. However, if you have AI is used as a source in schools, it's going to hinder children thinking. I mean, you can't ignore that. If you got computers and Chat GPT in the schools, they not gonna think as much as we did whenever we had books and had to turn to page 62 and go by lesson and read out loud in the class and pay attention. And they not gonna be as smart. It's just what it is. It's not gonna work out as good as you think it is. I think you should always still stay with books and never stray away from books, and still utilize computers and stuff like that, but don't get away from books. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and check this out. Let me make sure. Wait, did I change the banner? I did. Let me change the banner over here on this side right here. And we're going to dive into this video that's going to see the real reason why big tech wants AI in schools. So let's go ahead and jump right on it. Here we go.
For decades, the world's biggest tech companies have been selling a vision of the future directly to American schools.
We've got this device or this program or this app.
The future is digital.
Where their products are supposed to bring education into the 21st century.
It's an incredible value proposition for schools.
It's going to make your kids smarter and make your teachers happier and streamline all your processes and so on.
But underneath the hype is a disturbing trend. Take a look at this graph. On the test known as the nation's report card, scores have been declining since 2012. Around the same time, tech companies began selling personal devices to American classrooms at scale.
This is a massive uncontrolled experiment.
Kids are learning less, their thinking is far more shallow.
There have been some winners in all of this. Companies like Google have seen enormous success getting their products in front of a young audience with a lifetime of buying ahead of them.
Even if you got this Chromebook free now, you're a customer for life.
Why did we allow schools to become Silicon Valley profit centers?
We talked to teachers, parents, and experts about how the tech industry invaded American schools, what their real motivations are, and the impact on students. Because now big tech has launched a new push to disrupt education again using the same playbook. And this time, the technology is even more untested.
My name is Kirsta Bowman. I teach band, music technology, and choir. I'm teaching band, and kids are each supposed to have an instrument like a trumpet or a clarinet or a flute. And I look up and I have a trumpet player with their Chromebook open. They're trying to hack Roblox. And then I have a flute player trying to watch a K-pop drama on her Chromebook. If I put them away, kids will come in, where's the Chromebooks? Where's the Chromebooks?
In 2011, Google launched a new product with a lot.
Well, then put them away and then go send them outside on recess and let them run around. Hell with these kids. Like, what do you mean? That's one thing, man. I don't think they let these kids play outside as much. They need to have, they need to give them like 45-minute recesses. They need to have gym and recess back to back. Like, go to gym, play do a hell of a lot of running in the gym, then go do recess outside. I'm not sure how old these kids are, but we'll have to figure that out.
A lot of hype.
When you run Chrome OS on notebooks, you end up with a very different, unique experience. We call those Chromebooks.
At first, the Chromebook was kind of a flop. By design, it had fewer features than a regular laptop, limited to what you could do on Google Chrome. Early reviews panned it, and sales weren't great. But Google did have one advantage with the Chromebook.
Chromebooks are very inexpensive.
By the end of 2011, some Chromebook models were selling for as little as $300, much cheaper than other laptops on the market. Google started marketing these cheaper alternatives to schools and teachers.
We hope, this model will help more schools take the leap.
This Chromebook has everything a teacher could need.
They knew to go to teachers and get teachers and then their districts to serve as ambassadors.
It just took our walls and blew them away. These machines can go anywhere. We have now just gone citywide, statewide. It gives us the power of the entire Google team. It's almost like Google is part of our team now.
By 2016, Chromebooks made up more than half of the 13 million devices purchased by US schools. But the Chromebook was only one part of the push to get more tech into schools that has completely reshaped the classroom, and not necessarily for the better. To understand why, we need to go beyond the marketing pitch and look at the industry's real motivations.
It includes the companies that are providing the technologies, and it also includes investors that influence what the companies do.
The industry is known as EdTech. Over the past 2 decades, EdTech has exploded as an industry. It includes everything from the devices that kids learn on, to what they're learning, how teachers give quizzes and plan lessons, and so on. Google is one example of that.
It provides the Google Workspace for Education and Google Classroom, and then all of the other services like YouTube and Search.
The EdTech market in the US has more than tripled since 2012, and it's expected to grow by more than $100 billion in the next 10 years. One big reason for the growth is how tech companies seized the opportunity when COVID shut down classrooms.
The tech industry, particularly Google and Microsoft, really presented tech as the solution for schools, to the exclusion of other options like outdoor learning.
Chromebook sales worldwide.
I would say one of the big things that's going to be driving this for sure is if they're a $400 billion industry moving forward in the future, then that right there shows that I'm pretty sure that those stocks are going to be doing well as far as whenever you integrate AI with this. So the investors are seeing that changing the education style over to this and adding AI with it for the students, that's a potential for an opportunity to cash out on stocks in the future in the next coming, I would say, 5 years. That's how I would look at this, because they're complaining about it dumbing down the kids, but if you look at it from an investor perspective, they see money and opportunity. They don't give a damn about the kids. They're like, hey, if we can get these in, this is a $400 billion industry over the next course of like 3, 4, 5 years. We get in now and ride the wave, we're going to cash out and get rich. don't care about the expense of the kids or the future because they're already rich, just getting richer, just more power.
Worldwide more than doubled during the pandemic, mostly because of how many schools were buying the devices. But the devices have stuck around.
It was successfully translated into a new normal because now it's assumed that schools will be using a lot of technology.
They're expected to do all of this work on their computers. They're expected to type essays. They're expected to submit work on Google Classroom through surveys, through forms.
Even with enormous growth in Chromebook sales and fees Google makes from Chromebooks used in schools, the company is making most of its money elsewhere, mainly from Google search and advertising. So why is Google so interested in education?
You've got this captive audience of children. If they are growing up in school, getting used to a Google environment, that's very likely what they're going to use later when they get out of school.
There's also something else that's valuable in schools.
They collect a lot of data from children in schools.
That's a tremendous amount of data that's super valuable and basically cradle to grave, be mined and tracked.
Google has said it doesn't store student data or target kids with advertising, but just
I'm just gonna have to say, they say they don't store data or Google, look at me.
You lying ass bitch.
Come on now.
This year, the company paid a $30 million settlement with parents who claim that YouTube collected data of kids under the age of 13. They also settled another lawsuit alleging they collected and stored students' biometric data, and they're facing more legal action.
A group of California parents say Google uses student data to create intimately detailed profiles on school-aged children, and then uses that profile to market products and services.
Just being made to use this at school every day without understanding what it's taking from you, that is its own type of harm.
It's clear what Google and other ed tech companies are getting from kids: a stable market, valuable data, and potential customers for life. But there are reasons to be concerned about what our kids are getting in return.
We've had data for over 60 years, over half a century, on what happens when tech goes into schools. Unfortunately, it's been bad for 60 years. My name is Dr. Jared Cooney Horvath, and I am a neuroscientist who focuses on human learning, memory, and attention.
A test called the Program for International Student Assessment has found that scores have declined globally in reading, math, and science for more than a decade.
You always see declines in scores when kids use tech more. And the more countries invest in tech, the faster those scores start to go down.
And in the US,
the faster those scores go down, the more tech gets involved in school. Now, if you look at, you know what, I'll get to that here in a minute. Let me let this video finish.
Fewer than 30% of 8th graders last year were proficient in reading and math.
If you ever see a teacher who's been in a classroom for over 20 years, they will flat out tell you kids are learning less, memory's down, attention's down, general IQ's down. The only thing up is ability to process visual scenes. But we know our biology hasn't changed, so realistically you can't say that their attention is worse.
There's a scientific explanation for this.
Multitasking is hands down the worst thing you can do for learning and memory and attention. Once we get onto a screen, it's like, let me open this tab, let me scroll this, let me just check this.
The average attention span on screens has plummeted from 2.5 minutes in 2003 to just 44 seconds in recent years.
They've trained themselves for thousands of hours a year to use this tool in one way, rapid jumping. Now we say time to think, 6 minutes into it, they go right back to rapid jumping. It's a pure training thing. This is why schools have always been so highly focused. We have 50 minutes where you're in a quiet classroom, we got a book, we got a teacher, we got a board. Let's go.
Beyond the impact of devices on learning, we're also seeing problems in other areas. The number of high school students reporting symptoms of depression has risen since 2011. Jumping to 40% of high schoolers by 2023. And numerous studies have found a link between excessive screen time and isolation.
There's a lot of talk now about the effect of social media on kids and kids being very anxious and depressed. And it's hard to distinguish where social media ends and ed tech starts.
A lot of these kids are taught that these iPads and Chromebooks are to help with emotional regulation. They're upset or they're struggling either in school or at home or somewhere else, a teacher or another adult's like, oh, just go on your Chromebook, listen to music, watch YouTube, go on your tablet, play some games. I had an 8th grade class last year that I did struggle with behavior-wise. By the 3rd quarter, just none of them were submitting anything online anymore. So I said, screw it, I'm just giving them all like paper assessments. And a lot of kids started participating way more. A lot of grades went way up.
In the past few years, lawmakers have started banning cell phones in schools, saying they're bad for mental health and distract from learning.
That's opened the door to countries also saying, well, wait a second, what about all this other tech that's not really seeming to help much?
Last year, the Swedish government announced an effort to emphasize traditional learning like books and handwriting as opposed to using digital devices.
Yeah, handwriting is something that your penmanship should never be I don't believe penmanship should go away. I don't care how old or how technological or advanced we ever get. Penmanship should never go away. You should always be able to write down and have some sort of good handwriting or understand how to write things. That should never go away. I mean, that's what hieroglyphics are. It's penmanship, you know what I mean? It's a way of telling the story. It's a way of getting your point across and letting it pass down through generations. Once you put it in a technology or computer-based form, it gets in the cloud, it gets somebody else can hack it, they can get to it. At least if you write it down using your own handwriting and penmanship, there's an art, there's a style, there's a character that comes with your writing like that's you, that's your writing. You can store, you can put in your pocket, you can hide it, you can put it somewhere. You have it and you can pass it down. It's like a recipe. You know what I mean? Like having something that you can actually hold on to, putting it into a cloud or storage or something data-wise that can always be taken away, and how they're taking all these kids' data and watching their data and all that stuff is like you're stealing from them, and you know what I mean? You're like stealing their creativity, but you're dumbing them down at the same time. So penmanship, writing, all that stuff, I think that should forever be a thing that we should always have. They should never take that away from kids. Learning how to write handwriting, write cursive, all of that is extremely important to me, in my opinion. Even if we move, even though we are moving in an extremely technological world where it's amplified with technology, you can't get away from writing and using pen and paper. You just can't, because that is a form of learning, like writing a research paper. As much as I hated it, I think back now and look at how I think now and how I'm able to navigate on a computer. It started with writing, being able to cite my sources, knowing where to cite my sources, understanding punctuations, capitalization, correct punctuation, semicolons, commas, citing sources, a bibliography, all that stuff went together. Finding the book, knowing where I found the book, what page number, cite the source of the have the book, have the author, have the page number, all of that stuff, like understanding how to do all that. Then when I look at stuff and I find research from what I'm looking at, I can look at it and be like, oh, okay, this person was legit, or okay, this was a bunch of bullshit. You know what I mean? All of that comes together from like penmanship and writing. I can't imagine doing a research paper now, but typing it all out. It would be different to do a research paper nowadays, typing it all out and getting all your information from a computer. I feel like it would just, you would just know, like, it dumbed you down. If you've written one with having to go to a library and find the books and writing it, as opposed to just sitting in front of a computer and typing it out double space and just finding all of your stuff, you would clearly know. If you've done both, you would be like, this was so easy. I mean, it's faster, it's quicker, but as far as efficient and as far as what it took for me to gain all this knowledge, I could clearly say that I probably learned more the book and handwriting way as opposed to just the research on the computer way, simply because it's not a guarantee what they put in a computer is 100% accurate, unless you know exactly where to go to find the information. But it's just so much more that goes into writing. It's so much more.
I believe that you should only use digital teaching materials with older children. Young children shouldn't be exposed to screens at all.
And some places around the U.S. are starting to rethink the role of other devices, too.
While the kids go back to school, state lawmakers will head back to the state capitol soon to talk about if other screens are just as much of a problem.
Wake County Public Schools taking a closer look at its digital and technology footprint. One of those key items up for consideration, the Chromebook.
But while policymakers and districts debate the devices currently in their schools, the edtech industry has a shiny new toy to hold its place in the classroom.
We have a new tool in education, sort of like a calculator for words. I think resisting it is probably a bad idea. That doesn't usually work.
Some of the same big tech companies are now in the race for the next generation, this time with new AI products. Google has implemented its Gemini chatbot into its education suite, while OpenAI recently formed a partnership with Canvas, a major edtech learning platform. And the pitch sounds familiar.
It's very similar to the way it was when we first started seeing laptops offered. This is the future. This is a tool that students are going to need to know how to use.
Marketing that says that kids will be at a loss if they don't know how to use it, if they're not using it now.
The federal government has thrown its full weight behind AI in education.
This next executive order relates to artificial intelligence education, sir.
That's a big deal because AI is where it seems to be at. We have literally trillions of dollars being invested in AI.
And in July, a group...
Literally trillions of...
Why he look like an alien right here, bro? Look at him. He looks like a straight alien, like a straight Martian. What's going on? I don't know. He might be a lizard people. I don't know.
Dollars being invested in AI.
And in July, a group of parents and activists concerned about AI in schools met with a White House official. And this is what they were told.
China is, quote, eating our lunch regarding AI advancements, so that in order to create an AI-ready workforce, we have to start early.
In January, the Department of Education announced that it would prioritize federal grants to AI initiatives. Google and other major tech companies, including Apple, Amazon, and Meta, have also signed a pledge to train American kids how to use AI. More AI in schools means a revenue stream for companies that are so far struggling to turn AI.
That's what you need to pay attention to. Even though it's a $5 billion loss this year on $3.7 billion in revenue, that's what these people are looking at. They see these people, they see this. That's what they see. These people here see this. They see the money. Even though this is a loss, they see money, power, and control. Because if they can get everybody using their products, they're selling their products. They're making money off of the stock prices going up. All this is money. That's all it is.
By products into profit.
Tech companies are companies. They're like anything else. They're going to lie to us to sell products. They have one job, make money. It's our job to vet their claims.
And recent studies suggest that frequently relying on AI tools could diminish critical thinking.
It could flood the curriculum with misinformation because generative AI often provides misinformation, wrong answers.
It is not a learning tool. It is an offloading tool. It is the surest way to make sure kids avoid the process of thinking.
AI is still so new that we don't know all the ways it'll impact education.
But here's what we do know. While the tech industry has been wildly successful at getting its products into every inch of the classroom, students don't seem to be doing any better. So it's worth asking, what's the rush before we know for sure?
If you think the primary function of school is learning, then literally every decision we make has to hinge back on what is better for learning.
This is an uncontrolled experiment that we have to stop. We have to say enough is enough, and let's just hold off. Let's do some studies and figure out what the long run effects are and maybe where the sweet spot is in tech usage, because where it is right now is we know it's way, way over the top.
The sweet spot, sir, I'll tell you, the sweet spot is watching those stock market numbers go up and people make bank. That's what that's about. I mean, at the end of the day, that's really what this all boils down to. It's like you just said, they have a product, they're selling it. They're just selling it to your kids in your school. And the schools are, public school. Public schools are what? Government schools. You send your kids to these government-funded schools. They're going to use government-funded materials. So therefore, they're going to get paid. They're going to get paid on the back end. You want to change it? Send your kids to homeschool. That's it. That's the only way to change it. Otherwise, or private school, but even then, that's a 50-50, and then you're paying like $50,000 a year and your kid ain't even touched college yet. So the only way to fix that is it would be a homeschool environment, and just try to stay your way out of the government teaching your kids. You have to teach your kids yourself. That's where we're at. That's basically the only way to fix that, in my humble opinion. I don't think you can fix it any other way. You have to be able to raise your kids yourself. 2-parent household, best of your ability. One person or one parent can teach the kid, the other one can work. But we stray so far from that it's not going to go down that way. It's not going to happen that way. It's too much modernism. It's too much progressiveness, and at the expense of a future generation being dumbed down. I mean, we're moving straight into the movie Idiocracy. I mean, we're headed right in that direction. We're going straight down that way. A lot of these kids don't. Just a lot of these kids, they can't help it. They've seen a lot so early because of social media and stuff like that. So the attention span, just the glow of the screen, and the fact that they can see all different parts of the world and learn things so quickly. But then again, you got other kids around them. It just depends on the environment that they're in. A whole lot of stuff plays a big role, but just throwing these gadgets in these kids' hands and thinking that they're going to be able to learn on a focus level, it's not going to happen, because these gadgets take away your focus. You got to sit down and make them focus and make them critically think about something when all they want is the answer. It's a recipe for disaster. You're just dumbing down the masses for the betterment of elite class in the end. That's what it is. You dumb down the poorer class, you keep the elite class children ways, smarter and academically higher. At the end of the day, it's all about money. That's what it resorts to. If you got a lot of money to be able to push your kids and push your family through, to be able to avoid all the bullshit, then you're good to go. If you can't, and you got to depend on the government for their schooling, for their books, for their materials, for all that stuff, you basically get what you pay for. And that's how that works. But with that being said, man, that's going to be it for the AI segment of the show. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Like I said, normally we don't do shows this late. We normally do shows early in the day, but kiddo is on the fall break, so times change. But until like maybe Monday or Tuesday, we'll be back on do early morning shows. I gotta get up out of here. I can't be on here too late. I'll catch y'all on Monday, possibly, if he goes back to school. If not, it'll be Tuesday, and we'll continue on with our early morning show. So until then, man, y'all take care. Love y'all. Y'all have a good one, and enjoy this outro on the way out. We'll see you later. Peace.
Thank you for watching D. Elliott Fitness live stream. Goodbye.
Then buy the dream. The game on lock, and I got the keys like Jay. My fame on